Hello.
Hello. Sorry for that. I thought that was in an hour.
No, it was 7:30, so sorry. I
I
don't know what
apologize.
happened there. How
Yeah,
are you? How are you, Leo?
doing well. Thank you. You? Thanks
Yeah,
for
I'm doing
having me.
wonderful, man. Where you calling from right now?
I'm in Buenos Aires in Argentina. We're
In
about
Argentina.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. I mean, I see the map in the background there. Is that like your like little places to go and everything there?
Yeah, this is my children's room, so
Oh,
and
it is.
we love to look at the map and imagine where we could go and find out about strange names as
Yeah.
well.
Hey, so Leo, before we get into the interview and everything, tell my audience a little bit about yourself and what you're all about, your websites, how people can find out more about you.
Yeah, I'm currently doing something in LinkedIn called Meet Leo's Contacts, which
Mhm.
is a hashtag I created in LinkedIn. Just one night before going to bed, I said, "Hey, I could do this." It's a way of giving people the space in my LinkedIn to introduce themselves with a short video, and people seem to like it because when you get to talk about yourself, then I mean, I love to talk about myself sometimes, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I'm doing that on LinkedIn. I work in the software industry.
What kind of software?
I'm a project manager, so I'm working in different projects. At the moment, I'm in between jobs because of the recession. I'm
Yeah.
in between inverted quotes because I see a lot of companies laying people off, and
Uh-huh.
then I see a lot of companies hiring. So I'm not
Mhm.
sure what
How
is
are things
exactly
down
going
in
on.
Argentina right now?
What was that?
How are things down in
Oh,
Argentina right now?
Argentina is it's a complicated country. We have our inflation right now. It's 6% monthly.
Mhm.
So
Um, is it what you could say a free country? Do you have absolute freedom of speech in
yes,
Argentina?
I don't know about speech, but I live in Buenos Aires, which is the capital. And
Mhm.
what is great about Buenos Aires? It's about 13 million people here, and this society, uh, at least in Buenos Aires, is really open and respectful. So it's listed in many places like friendly to the LGBTIQ
Okay, so
community.
they're very open to
Mhm.
people's just you know how they live and how they want to live their life. Then
Yes, actually, I had a friend. I have a friend. He's not here any longer, but he came here just because of that. So he
wow,
was
that I
living
mean,
in
but
Turkey, and some countries that are not so respectful of people's lives in
well,
general.
look, I grew up in an area in Florida where
Hmm.
it was a big Spanish Hispanic type community, and you see what you see, and I'm not trying to label, but from what I learned growing up, you wouldn't think that the Spanish community per se would be like okay with that type of lifestyle and stuff. And I don't
Yeah,
know if it's something that has gotten better through the years and everything. I mean,
I
I'm
think it depends. Yeah,
glad to
I lived in Ecuador, for instance,
see that.
also in South America, and the culture is different. If you go to Mexico, I've been to Mexico as well. I have Mexican friends. It's a different thing. So I would say this is something particular of the Buenos Aires area, because
Mm,
even in Argentina, if you go to the north,
mm.
people have a
It's more
different.
progressive is what you're saying,
Mhm.
in that area.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Argentina, I'm a big, football, soccer fan for my American Argentina, great, football country and everything.
Yeah.
Is Messi God there? Like, does everybody love Messi? Like,
Yeah, I think it depends. I'm not a big follower of soccer, but I look at the World Cup and so on. And Messi, now that we won the
the
uh,
Copa,
America's Cup,
mm,
it's different. But before, everyone was kind of angry at
kind of
him
hating her.
because,
Like, we ain't won this cup in a while.
right, look
When are
at what he does in Europe at the Barcelona,
you?
and he comes here and we don't win anything. So, but now it's different. Now that we won that one.
How were things in Argentina during the pandemic? Did it get bad at all?
Well, here we had one of the longest lockdown, a complete
Mm,
lockdown, for about 7 months. So, in my family, in particular, my wife is Croatian, and she went with my son to
uh-huh.
Croatia to visit the family in February. And then at the end of February, they said borders closed, no one can come
So
in.
she couldn't get back then.
Yeah, so we were separated for about 7 months until they started loosening up a bit the restrictions. But it was okay because she was in Croatia and they had no restrictions. They
Mm.
went to the beach, they had a blast. But here in Argentina during the pandemic, they at that time I was with
Strict
my,
lockdown?
what was that?
Was it a strict lockdown? Like they don't.
Yes, yes. At the beginning, you could only go to the store to buy some food or medication and come back home. And so it was kind of difficult.
I
Yeah.
gotta ask. So, I love when you see different cultures end up dating, end up getting married, and how do you end up meeting a lady from Croatia?
Yeah, it's I don't know. I the way I look at it, it was meant to be. We
Mhm,
we met in Facebook, and in 2004 I started studying Croatian. I don't have Croatian roots or anything. I just
mhm.
wanted to learn the language.
Where were you
Uh,
born?
Here in Argentina.
Okay, I got you.
And that was 2004. I started studying the language, and people at the office would say, "Oh man, why do you study something more useful?" They would say. And then in 2008, I met my now wife, and I said, "You see, it was useful."
But I mean, that had to be a good little like icebreaker. So,
Hmm.
like when you first talked to her on the phone, did you start off and speaking Croatian and stuff? Because I mean that would be, I think a pretty good end. They'd be like, oh,
Hmm.
this guy from Argentina, he knows Croatian. He's already talking to me like this. And that had to be a big deal.
Yeah, you know what? Soccer, in a way, connected us because I had on my profile picture the Croatian jersey for the national
Huh.
soccer team, and
Luka Modric.
she,
Isn't Luka Modric is from
yes, yes, he's from there.
Croatia.
He's really good, and she saw me with the jersey, and she said something like "my man." That was the first initial conversation, and about the language, I thought, "Oh, I know the language. I'm going to talk to her in Croatian," and I would write to her in Croatian,
Oh, so
and she,
well, is there a big difference in spelling out words and knowing a language? Like, do you get what I'm saying? It's one thing to speak it, but to be able to write it out
it
is
depends on
another.
the language. Croatian has one. It has many difficulties, but it has one good thing, which is one letter, one sound. So A is always the letter A. Ah, so that's it.
English is so weird.
English
English.
and French, you share the same difficulties. Nothing is pronounced the way you think it should. Like,
No.
why is it blood and it's not blood? It's double O.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But I mean, like I studied Spanish.
Mhm.
I don't know it like a lot, but I know the sounds like ba
Right.
ba be bo boo ka, like it's the beginning letter with the vowel. It's AEIOU.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I can pronounce. You could put a Spanish word in front of me, and I could pronounce it all day.
Hmm. Like I said, in Croatian, it's easy because once you know the sound for each letter, then you can read something and you can pronounce it. But
Mm,
it has so many other complications. It's a language that didn't evolve, like, for instance, the Romance languages. So you have the declensions like in Latin. So
mhm,
every word is going to end in a different way depending on what you want to say.
mhm,
So, and they also have another complication, which is they have three words for each thing because they have different regions. So the people from the coast are going to have a word which is Croatian but sounds
mm,
like Italian. Then they have words that they got from the
mm.
Austro-Hungarian
Oh, yeah,
Empire when they were there. So it's really complicated. It took me about 12 years to speak the language fairly decent.
man. Well,
Hmm.
that's a really great story and everything. So tell me a little bit about this, Leo. How have you been helping out people with this uh thing that you're doing right now?
Yeah, I'm I'm just giving them the space so they record a video. Like, for instance, you can record a video and you say, "I'm doing this podcast and I have been doing."
Oh, can I do that for you? Maybe I can pick up some people. Can I send you a
Sure,
video and be
of course, yeah. Uh, I have about 80 people so far, and in the thing is that in LinkedIn I have about 22,000 connection
wow.
followers. So from those, when I see someone who might be interested, then I just offer the space and then post it with the say something nice. And the funny thing is that I have some which are in English, and then I have some in Spanish, and then I have some in Croatian and some in Serbian.
Hey, how about this though? Like if I did a video for you, could you dub over the top of my voice in like Spanish and Croatian so like I could reach more of an audience? So I
That
mean,
would be awesome.
I know it wouldn't match up with my lip movements, but you would be like one of those martial arts films back in the day. You
Right?
could
They
be
speak,
dubbing over.
then they that
Yeah.
would be great.
Do you live near a highway or in the middle of the city? I just heard a big ass horn in the background there.
Yeah, sorry. I and this I'm the
I'm not
street is
bothering. I'm just
nearby.
asking. I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
and the thing is, there's a hospital for about 3 blocks from
A lot
here,
of sirens. A lot of.
and the fire department is 3 blocks the other way. So you
I
hear
gotta.
the fire trucks and
I gotta deal with that all the time. So you're in Argentina.
Mhm.
What is the main opinion of America by Argentinians?
I would say in general, people look up to America, and they, if they
Uh,
can, they want to go on holidays on it. But it depends because
not
then
so
you
great,
also.
man. I used to be like, I still think we're a great country, man, but like, I just watch the news. It's depressing as shit. It
Well, I
really,
would say everything everywhere is depressing. I mean, in some places more than others, but I went to the States for about 6 years in a row uh, because I made a friend on the chat room. I'm talking
mhm,
about back in the 90s,
mhm.
and so we
Like
met in the
AOL Instant Messenger type deal, probably.
something like that, but
Yeah.
a bit before IRC. And we started talking, and one day I said, "You have an extra bed?" And she said, "Yeah." "Okay, I'm going to your house tomorrow." And she said, "Oh, okay, sure." And then I
Mm.
showed up next day up in Maine, uh, and then I
It's too
went
cold.
to.
I've lived in Florida all my life. Maine just makes me want to shiver.
And the funny thing is that I would go there when it's summer here, which
Mm.
means in the middle of winter in Maine. So it was this high of snow every day. Just it
Yeah,
was
you
fun.
don't get snow in Argentina, probably.
No, here in Buenos Aires you don't. In the south there is a lot of snow and you have
'Cause you
ski
got mountains
centers.
and stuff, and
You have
yeah,
the Andes, which are really high, and they have really good ski centers back
yeah.
there.
I'm gonna go to I know I'm gonna butcher Montu Picchu or
Oh,
whatever.
you're
What
going? Uh-huh.
I would love to go there. Like I've heard, but I don't know. Like Florida is a very flat place. I don't know if I could deal with the altitude.
I lived in, like I said, I lived in Ecuador, and Quito is that would be I'm trying to translate it into feet. That would be like
Oh,
ten
so
thousand feet.
Ecuador is like one of the highest areas, like in South America, isn't it? Like people get altitude sickness in
Yes.
there, like if they're not used to that area.
And when I got there, I was a kid. I was about 10 years old. And when I got there, you would get dizzy just by getting out of bed. It's like, whoa, I need to sit down because the oxygen there is
It's like one of the highest
scarce.
metropolitan
Hmm.
cities in the whole world, from what
Yeah,
I've learned. Like those people in that city, it's just it's even more than Denver, Colorado. Everybody wants to talk about mile high in Denver, but like that Ecuador area is just like
yeah.
even that
And
much more.
Bolivia also they have high cities. And the funny thing that I was going to military school, so I had to run and do all these things.
But it was
It,
probably good for you though. Like
it
like
was, it
if
was.
you were in lower altitude, man, you could run circles around people probably.
Yeah, that's why some of the greatest marathon runners in South America come from Ecuador because
Yeah.
they train up there and then they come down here and they say, "Ooh, there's a lot of oxygen here. I can do it like nitro."
Yeah. What are the gun laws like down in Argentina?
It's really difficult to get one. You have to get a like a special permit,
Permit? Yeah.
and you have to go through a psychological test, and they give you just a number of weapons. I used to have a rifle. I would go to the firing range and so on,
Mhm.
but then I sold it. But we do have a big problem with illegal firearms.
Yeah.
So
What's the biggest problem down in Argentina right now that you guys are facing?
I would say the biggest two problems are the economy, like I said, with the inflation and so on, and in insecurity. It's especially here in the big city, there are some really rough neighborhoods, so it's kind of difficult. I
Drugs
live,
a big problem at all in Argentina?
yeah, 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 because you
What
have
what's
like a
what what
slum.
what is the drug? Like I mean, you Colombia, you think cocaine and stuff.
Yeah,
What is the drug that is like a big problem in Argentina?
you have like in the outskirts of the city, you have these kind of slums.
Mhm.
And in those neighborhoods, from what I hear, is they smoke something which is like what is left of when they make cocaine. So it's really
Okay, yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I don't know the name,
I can only imagine.
but
Probably,
it's something cheap and really harmful. So
yeah. Leo, before I let you go, tell my audience, and hopefully you don't mind any of the questions. I just
no, of
like
course,
to
no,
talk
no,
about the culture. What?
yeah,
Okay, one last thing. Let's leave on a positive note when we're talking about Argentina. I love food. Everybody
mhm.
loves food. What are some of the foods that Argentina is known for?
We are known for really, really good beef because we have there are all open pasture
Great
cows.
cattle. They're probably free range. They're eating up
Yes,
natural
that's what
grass.
I wanted to say. So the meat is really tender, and we actually export a lot of that to a lot of countries. I
But
would say
like,
not to the U.S., but
what is the one meal though? Like everybody that Argentina is known for.
if you come to Argentina, then you have to have asado, which is basically a piece of meat on the grill. So
Ah,
mhm,
I
yeah,
mean, nothing beats grilled meat. So, all
yeah.
right, hey Leo, tell my audience once again how they can check you out and if they want to contact you and all that stuff.
Yeah, they can find me on LinkedIn because I closed most of my other social networks. So I'm Leandro Prada, and I have this Meet Leo's contacts. If you look it up, then you can find it very easily. So,
And what about your website or anything or no?
yeah, I have a website which is
Mhm.
leoprada.com.ar. I it because I used to build websites, so it's always fun creating, and I'm always doing something.
Well, hey Leo, man, I really enjoyed this conversation, man.
Me too.
Hopefully you did as well too. Let's keep in touch. I follow you on LinkedIn and stuff. So if you ever
And we
need,
will do the dubbing on the video for sure.
I think it would be
Yeah,
amazing. I think it would
it
be
is.
absolutely
It will.
amazing. So Leo, man, have a great night. Hopefully
Thank you.
you and your family stay safe and prosper. And I'm always around if you need anything.
I
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank you. Same
All
for
right,
you.
man. Have a great night. All right, guys, gonna get out of here. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed tonight's show. Hopefully, you guys stay safe, and I will talk to you tomorrow.